Welcome to another episode of the Angels Positivity and Love Show. Incredible guests the world over with amazing insights and much more. Big hearts, usually giving service to others, high frequency, high vibration. And they're sharing their wisdom, their experience with all of us. Coming to us today from Virginia, normally Colorado. Her second appearance with us, Sheila Seppi. She wears a lot of hats, but if it's about the universe, about being in your heart, about trusting more, expanded awareness, expanded consciousness, and connecting to all there is, plus lots of loving galactic beings, interdimensional beings, whatever you want to call it, beings who are here to help mankind evolve and be more comfortable in the slipstream of consciousness and love that's already in and around us. That's her. And she's got a few books out, is a definitely in demand speaker, and loves to share what she knows with all of us. Sheila, great to see you again.
Hi, thanks so much for the invite. It's always fun to be here.
Absolutely. Okay, you do a lot. You do a lot of conferences, you do a lot of work, you do a lot of appearances on shows. What were the four big topics you saw in this year, 2025? I know we're not wrapped up with this year
Mhm.
yet, but what do you also see ahead as some of the newer topics coming in?
Well, as of late, of course, a lot of people have been talking about the not comet, the three-eye atlas. A lot of people have been talking about disclosure, of course. And, people are talking about monetary collapses and wars. So those were kind of some of the big topics people were talking about this year.
What do you see ahead?
Ah, well, when I look ahead, I kind of don't look at real world stuff. Even during the elections, I remember people saying, "Well, are you concerned about this? And what are you doing? And what do you think about it?" It's like, I don't think about any of that stuff because I'm too busy over here creating this reality. And so for next year, one of the things that I'm really seeing is people starting to open up because of all the plasmatic energy that's been hitting the planet. I see a lot of people kind of stepping away more from the 3D isms, if you will, that's kind of got people wrapped up. I see more healing technologies coming out and people waking up all across the planet.
I love it. Okay, we're going to do some different questions for you. When you close your eyes and want to go somewhere for some additional wisdom or getting bathed in consciousness or love and light, call it mindfulness meditation, but call it going somewhere. Do you have specific places you sometimes go?
You know, because I'm connected to the Omnistream, I love to go there because that takes me out into the non-ordinary reality where I basically just become pure consciousness. And there's just filled with like unconditional love and it's just warm and so relaxing. If I can drop into that heart coherence and then I start kind of pixelating, if you will, breaking apart, moving in to that kind of space. That's sort of my favorite place in the whole world to be.
Now, everyone's different, different frequency, different unique life path, and everyone's awakening to it. And you could even argue that they're firmly on it right now.
Yeah.
So everyone does have a different way of doing it, it seems like. There are some
Mhm.
people who do close their eyes and get to meet up with unconditional loving beings of all sorts of backgrounds. Is that something specific for you, or is it more of a general light consciousness and it's kind of all that is engaging you all at once?
Well, it's both because, I have very specific teams that I work with for very specific purposes. I have Elder Mother Tiamu, who serves as the voice for the larger Omni stream. She also serves as the voice for a smaller group, which is about 128 beings, which is part of the Yani collective, which is what I was, a big part of. I work with my soul reconnective technique group, which are Andromedan. I have an angelic, I have an Andromedan, and I have an Arcturian being. And then I also have my Arcturian healing team. Because I work with Yeshua and Mother Mary, I work with Ascended Masters. I work with Mary Magdalene. I work with all the different color rays. So it just, it just depends on, kind of, I don't mean like what my mood is, but it just depends on the space that I'm in. I started out shamanic. I've been student of a Hopi elder for about, I don't know, 20 some years until she dropped her robe this year. And so, as an apprentice, one of the first things I did was started out on that shamanic path. So, I love to do, the upper world and the lower world and the middle world journeys and meet up with my guides and totems. So, there's so much out there for everyone. I work with the angelics. And so, if I'm seeking, like if I'm seeking answers to something, then I'll just kind of drop into a space and just allow my Yani team to work with me. If I'm speaking like guidance on what needs to come out for humanity or what needs to come through for a client, I go directly up to the Omnistream. A lot of times when I'm working one on one with a client, someone specific will come in for them. Yes, sometimes loved ones, that kind of thing, but I'm talking about more of like their spirit team that's kind of like, hello, I've been trying to talk to you. Would you listen to me? I got a message for you.
I love it. Okay, I've got a great line from an angel named Heather who's just said, slowing down helps kindle compassion and creates joy. Can you talk to us about how that really is the key to everything, the slowing down and being
Yeah,
here?
absolutely. More and more as people come to me, they'll say, what's my life path? And I can give them stuff, but overall, what the ODC shares with me is dropping into still. That's my team.
I was figuring
Omnistream
that
of
out.
Yeah, the Omnistream of Divine Consciousness. The ODC is what I call them. It's so much shorter. But anyway, what they'll share is, people need to stop. They need to drop into that stillness. Number one, just to allow everything that's moving to come to a place of settlement so they can absorb whatever those teachings and lessons are for them, but more importantly to be able to drop into the essence of who they are as a spiritual being, because when they're able to drop into that place of stillness, they're able to get all the answers that they need, because everything we need is already inside of us. We're taught throughout life we have to seek outside of ourselves. And that's why we're a go, 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 doing society. But more now, people are understanding the importance of stopping, being quiet, dropping within, because that's when we hear our angels and our guides and all of those beings on the other side speak to us.
Peaceful Warrior, the movie, the gymnastics movie with Nick Nolte, Amy Smart, Scott Mekalowitz. They have a deleted scene, I think it is, where the garage mechanic, gas station attendant literally says, it's not going to be found externally. It's only going to be found here. And that's the last place a lot of people want to go. Seth from
Mhm.
the 1970s, the light being Jane Roberts, said it's not going to be found externally, but through the world through your heart into a broader reality. I'm paraphrasing. Definitely. Can we do a sudden stop, drop, and roll exercise where we just have you sit still and even put a hand out off camera and have whichever loving being won the bingo contest right now? One being, love and above, will hold your hand and also share a few messages to what we've already discussed. Can we have you just go full
Sure.
stop? Okay. But you'll let us know which being's holding your hand.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I have Elder Mother Tiamu, who is an Andromedan being.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So I'll work with her a great deal. Ina induku turubani e shakatere turu. Pianana e kiawa kana e shinatatu. She says she is so happy that we are stopping and dropping into the stillness of our hearts, because it's there that we will find the answers that we're seeking.
Can you talk to us about the changes you've seen in humanity and mankind in 2025?
Mm, yeah. You know, one of the things that a lot of people are talking about is the fear that they're feeling because of everything happening in the world. And I always let people know, these things are not new. The war, the anger, the frustration, the hatred that's out there has always been here. It's just that everyone that's talking about this is starting to wake up. And they're looking at the world with new eyes. And these new eyes are appalled at what they're seeing. These new eyes feel that hurt that someone is experiencing who may have just gotten bombed and lost loved ones. All of a sudden, people are feeling what it's like to experience hunger or to be without water or not to have shelter in a new way, because I believe people's empathy is rising. More and more people are getting in contact with the fact that, yes, we are one soul. And yes, it is possible to feel the pain of another person, just not take it on. Yeah.
Can you talk to us about the concept that we really are getting help interdimensionally or outside of our senses from loving beings? Can you talk to us about how we're not alone? We're not the only casino on the Vegas Strip.
That's right. So, one of the things that, I have a lot of profound memories, and a lot of them I brought through when I stepped in as a walk in 1999. And it's taken me this long to actually be able to, articulate and have the languaging or even the understanding of what they were trying to tell me. But one of the things that I saw and that I'll be teaching about in the new Living Light archives that's going to be rolling out after the first of the year is about the crystalline lattice, and how within this crystalline lattice is the whole of creation, because I see that as the plasmatic mind of source. So if you were to close your eyes and imagine yourself being connected to this monstrous web of life that connects us to all people, all things, all space, all time, and expand that out to also connecting us to all universes and everything else, we begin to understand that magnitude of how, yeah, we are all connected. Everything that happens out there also is happening in here. And because we're connected to all things, we are obviously connected to that collective consciousness of humanity. And being connected to that consciousness allows us then to be able to imprint on that. So when we're feeling joy, when we raise our vibrational frequency, we're impacting the collective consciousness and everything begins to rise. A lot of times people will all of a sudden they'll say, wow, everybody around me seems to change. And that's when that internal change has taken place. And the reason that you're seeing everyone change is because you have changed and your vibration is shifting and changing all those around you. I also, because I remember slipping in the body, I remember slipping out of the body, I remember being in world of spirit and what it's like to understand the magnitude of support that we have is mind blowing. We don't just have one person that checks in. I always call them people because they are beings and we are a being. So we don't have just one being that's assigned to us. We literally have hundreds of beings that we're connected to. We have, legions of angels that are here helping and supporting us. And they might be the same group, may be supporting you, that's supporting me, that's supporting someone down the street, because they can do that in non ordinary reality. They just can't, like Archangel Michael. He's available for everyone at all times because he's omnipotent. And everyone on the other side is. And so when we think about, gosh, I don't have any support, I don't have this, I don't have that, we're dropping in to the emotion of what we're experiencing. But if we can rise above that and really look at it as like, oh, yeah, wait a minute. I'm here to have these experiences. Now, what is this experience teaching me? How can I learn from this experience and understand that we are constantly being supported? That's where that stillness that you were talking about comes in. When we can still our mind, then we open up the doorway for all those people who are here supporting us to speak to us and to let us know that we are never, ever alone.
Beautiful. Everything is your instruction. Uh, let's try tackling it from a different direction. How you spend your energy is how you spend it. Where you put your focus is where you put it. And then, in spite of all the details going on globally, censorship, digital IDs, more attempts at this, more attempts at that, health related stuff or mass health related stuff, could be shots, it could be anything, stuff that we don't really actually talk about here. How does one pull away, as you said, and get to hear and get away from details? And yet, we're not totally ignoring or putting our head in the sand. Can you talk to us about that juxtaposition and just, you always have a great way with words. What do we do again?
Okay. Well, I'm just going to share how I'm able to do that. I drop into 3D just as much as anybody else. I drop into the reality. I see what's happening. I'm right now. One of the things I'm doing is, in addition to getting ready to launch this and seeing clients and having my, transmissions and all the event stuff that I do, I'm also caretaking my 91-year-old dad, who is a news listener and who always wants to share all of the trauma dramas that's happening out there. For me, when I'm hearing about all of those things, yeah, they can affect us. However, I understand that Earth is just this temporary location that we're visiting, that we're truly a soul having these experiences. We're not a human that happens to have a soul having these experiences. And that's a huge difference. When we can operate from a place of soul, when we can drop into the essence of who we really are, then it's really easy to begin to disassociate from some of these things. It's really easy to begin to understand, okay, this too shall pass. Take a breath in, take a breath out. This is my favorite saying is, this is just a human experience. And understand that it'll all be over in the blink of an eye, because that is how this planet is set up. It's our place for learning. It's our experiential, playground, if you will. And when we can understand that these things are in place for us to grow through, to pass out of, to drop into who we are. It's more about how we handle the experience than the experience itself. And when we can be loving to ourselves for the way we're handling a situation, if something happens and we just go off the deep end, it's like, that's okay. Because now we know we may not want to handle the situation that way again. So when that situation comes back, we can use that experience that we just had and learn from it on how we want to move through it differently, or how we're going to allow it to affect us. Because I look at everything as a choice. I can choose to be upset about something, or I can choose to move through it, not really liking it, but still blessing it and letting it go and not make it part of who I am. So that's just kind of, realizing that we're a soul having a human experience. And if we can keep that first and foremost and make it our mantra, this is just a human experience, it kind of desensitizes it and takes all the ouch out of it.
Worry less, smile more, think less, breathe more. And I'll give you a different statement from angels. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Can we again switch the tact a little bit? And can you talk to us about the consciousness, the high vibration, the high frequency, whatever we want to call it, the joy, the sparkle
Mhm.
that's here? And again, just a slightly different nudge here and looking at it, your heart. How is that the connection to all there is and more? And Sheila, go for it.
Yeah, sure. When you talk about that sparkle and you talk about the joy, it's here. I mean, we're in it, we're living it. We have to allow it. We have to step into it. If we can take these bad situations and find that silver lining, or if we have an experience and we can look back and laugh at ourselves and say, oh, man, wasn't I silly? Look how this, look how I allowed this to impact me. Look at, oh man, I wish I hadn't have done that. But really laugh at ourselves and, take things with a grain of salt, lighten everything up. I mean, there's so much joy around us that, even as things are falling around us, we can still look and laugh and say, wow, I didn't know that would have such a big impact on me. Look at that. Look at the light that's now coming through. If we can find those silver linings and drop into that heart, that's all that's there is that unconditional love, that joy, that support. And it then allows us to move into those higher vibrational states. And that's where we want to hang out.
If this were a game show, can we do a lightning round real quick? Just slight definitions or whatever comes in for about like 10 different terms. So we
Okay.
might have you describe Arcturians for folks. Because if someone's tuning in and they're like, whoa, this is a lot, it's heady, but they're like, there's something to it I'm relating to. But Arcturians, Andromedans, so at that level,
Yeah.
hybrids, um, I had some other words too, but it'll come. Oh, soul seeds, star seeds. Can we just do 20 seconds here, a minute there, wherever you want to take us? But light beings, how do you like to describe light beings?
Light beings are those consciousness forms that have not yet embodied, yet they have an individual spark about them. And so, when we look at the galaxy, everything is about the soul. For me, that's all there is soul. And so sometimes we choose to incarnate as a human. Sometimes we choose to have experiences in other dimensions or in other realms or even on other planets. And so when you look at a light being, chances are they have not incarnated yet, or maybe they're on a different planet, say Sirius C, which has this light being energy about it. When you look at the Andromedans, they simply are, well, actually, Andromeda used to be the entire galaxy. And then the Milky Way and Andromeda began to separate. That to me was the polarity of the divine masculine, divine feminine, with the Andromedans taking more of that feminine energy. But it's simply, another planetary system that houses beings. So whether you're talking about Andromedans, Arcturians, Lyrans, whatever it is, whatever you hear, to me, those are just, our brothers and sisters that have chose to incarnate in a different planetary system.
If a person's jittery or worried about putting sort of their frequency into fear, they're worried about protection, can you deliver a message that to trust more and that you're being looked out for, and that if you just say yes to the universe or something like that, you're good?
Yeah, actually, people are good. They really are because they are so divinely guided, guarded, and protected. The fear that we see is what we are choosing to break away from. When we have a fear that's coming up for us, that's our soul's way of saying, you know what, that's not for me anymore. But then we have that humanness that says, but how do I detach from it?
Mhm.
We have so much support around us that truly all we have to do is ask. When we are in these places of fear, if we just make a note to self, what are these things that I fear? Am I fearing a lack of support? Am I fearing the monetary system is going to fall? Well, what would happen if the monetary system fell? What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? If we start trying to look at, the good, the bad, the ugly, and understanding that no matter what happens, we are divinely guarded, guided, and protected, I think that takes a lot of that fear and a lot of that concern, kind of takes that big pow out of the issue.
Now, this will be a little off target, but not quite. An angel named Joy about 10 years ago said to me, homelessness, what an adventure. And I love that. It's always stuck with me since. It's a little related. I want to show your book cover. This is your book from, I'm believing, August of 2025, Cosmic Convergence. But if you don't mind talking about your book and Barbara Lamb a little bit, if you
Sure.
could throw a
Yeah.
compliment or two to her,
Oh,
and I'll do this close up. The details will be below the video, but
I
um,
could talk about Barbara all day long.
okay, what do we need
I
to know before we're at a cocktail party? There's a pool. She's on the other side of the pool. We're about to meet her. What are the three things everyone would want to know just seconds before they shake hands or get a hug? What's Barbara about?
Barbara is the grand poobah of uh, taking people into past life regressions. Her specialty is bringing people through their experiences with extraterrestrial beings. She is one of the foremost experts on crop circles in the entire world. And this lady has a heart of gold. She is one of the most genuine, sweetest individuals that you're ever going to meet. And it was really an honor, to work with her in this book. When, I first kind of embarked in this industry, Barbara was one of my greatest cheerleaders. And she was there in my corner and do this or do that or here, let's, all of these different things. And so when I decided to write this second book, one of the things I wanted to do was somehow do something with Barbara. So this seemed like the excellent opportunity and the best time to do it. And so I had written the book and I asked Barbara, hey, look, I'm writing this book. I explained, the front part is a little bit about the dynamics of the universe, dimensions, densities, holographic universes, all these kinds of things. And then I have a section, I've set that up so people could understand how it would even be possible for a walk in a starseed or a hybrid to incarnate on the planet. And she then contributed 5 to 6 case studies about walk ins, starseeds, and hybrids. And these are real people who, during her hypnotic regression sessions, had these types of stories or these types of understandings to come forward. And so she shares those in the book as well.
I love it. I'm going to put up an angel named Joy, and we're jumping the gun a little. I'd still like to blow sage, show a little bit of light first, but I'm going to put Joy up. Just if you don't mind getting a hug, hearing something private, say got it for us when you've connected. This is an angel named Joy, but very cosmic. And just when you hear something from her, get a hug, let us know. Keep it all private. Okay, and then
Okay.
can we do an act of self-love? Can you get a beautiful compliment from her? Three compliments, two compliments. Let us know if you got two or three. One of them is meant for public consumption, so you might have to share one. You don't have to. But could you get a compliment from her that you're sharing out loud? Get a two private ones at least. What did you
Sure.
get that's a compliment from Joy to you?
Oh, from joy to me. It,
Yeah, so this is
yeah.
you getting love and sharing a little
Yeah.
self-love with all of us.
Yeah. Well, earlier when you showed this, I had this sense of unconditional love. And she just said, for me, she said to remember that we all are part of that source energy and that unconditional love is wrapped around us. And for me and for everyone else as well.
Beautiful. And thank you for that. That was a little unconventional, but cool. I'm going to light some sage in Texas. You're not in Colorado right now, you're in Virginia. And I'm going to light the sage. You're going to catch it through two screens. We've done this a bunch of times. And I can barely talk. So this whole show has been really interesting trying to put questions together. I'll have a question. And by the time you get done talking, I've forgotten the question. So this has been fun. I'm going to light the sage, though. You can catch sage through two screens. And if people at home are wondering what's going on, you haven't watched one of the hundreds of other shows where we've done this. Time and space isn't what you think it is. You know it from vacations, you know it from the classroom. That teacher, it's 1 hour long, and not to judge too much, but they're a really interesting teacher. They're really that 1 hour can feel like 10 minutes or 2 hours. And you know it from a vacation. You go to the Bahamas every year for a week. The first year that you go, that week feels like a month. The next year, it feels like you were there 2 days. You're already getting back on the plane. So there's a little stretchiness with both. That's what this is. You can catch it through two screens. So if you're in Berlin, Christchurch, Tokyo, it doesn't matter. And it's the year 2030. Sheila in Virginia is going to catch a little sage, although she might already be catching it or tasting it. I'll wait for the smoke though. And let us know when you get the sage.
Got it.
And if you can ask for flowers, ocean, or extra, like light language around you within or visible, or if you go eyes shut, you see it on your eyelids. It doesn't matter which way. Just catch at least sparkles, glitter, I don't know, something fun and extra. And fun and extra is what life's all about. Sheila Seppi, what are you getting right now that's fun and extra?
I've got unicorns dancing across the sky, pulling these beautiful, I guess they're like ribbons of energy with all these different colors.
Okay, and I don't do this too often. I don't think I've ever done it. Can you back up and can you now take sort of a further back approach? Can you explain how everything is light, how everything's love, and how a person who might not feel like they can relate to that just yet, they might have to go take a shower, hug the dog, play paddleball, go for a run. There's 4 million ways to be here, but unfortunately, there's 40 trillion thought forms that could block this. Can you back up and explain a little bit how anyone and everyone is already connected and they can be more connected here? We've already covered it a few times, but can you cover it in a new way?
Yes. So again, just how far back do you want me to go?
But
To the
how
beginning of time?
you're already there. You just have forgotten or something like that.
Yes, that is the truth. We are already there. And here's the reality. You know, everyone's like, man, I really want to get to that 5D place. Guess what? You're already there. I want to elevate my consciousness to 11D. You're already there. You know, we've just forgotten these things because of the conditioning that we have and the things that we're told around us. But the reality of it is, you know, we are still all connected to that one spirit. We're being projected in, having these individual experiences. And if we can just remember that, and it's like, oh, yeah, I can really firmly hold on to that 5D concept now because I'm already there. I think, you know, life just gets so much more fun.
Beautiful. I'm going to put up construction paper black, but a blue sky is number one. Shut off TV is two. A black sweatshirt, either on a person or just lying on the chair, is great to make energy, auras, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, universal light, a million ways to describe it. Even the force from Star Wars, in you and around you, it is. I'm going to do Yoda's voice when I'm blocking the screen with this. We did this before the show, and we did this, I think, the last time you were on. I'm just going to show a little bit of light between my fingers. Once you say a few colors, I'll go bigger, broader, and you can maybe get structure, object, something fun. I'll do Yoda's voice to make you laugh, though. And that's the whole point. When you're laughing, you're letting go. Laughter's love. Mother Teresa said that. Okay, here's this, and you're going to see a little bit of light. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Um, and I'm going to tell one dad joke. What's the only flower found on the human face? Tulips. And just see a little bit of light. What are you seeing now?
Yes. Yeah, I'm seeing some blue. I'm seeing a little bit of, looks kind of like peachy color. That's gorgeous. And I'm now starting to see like the formation of it's like a triangle.
Oh, and I'm going to do Yoda's voice, so enjoy it for the length of time it takes for me to do Yoda's quote here. Hmm? Do not. There is no try. And what are you getting now?
You know, I'm getting the shape of stars everywhere.
If you could cup your
The
hands
little
like you're,
sparkles.
if you could cup your hands off camera in your lap almost, as if you're in the shower catching water, so the two hands are connected, just cup your hands off camera. And if you could allow that light, this light, to be in your hands, and when you're feeling it, if you don't mind looking down, I can sit down at that point. Let us know when your hands are full of light.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna sit. That gave me a break. And just enjoy the light. But if you could have a message come out of the light for all of us, and when you're done, if you don't mind bringing that into your heart and exploding in light, not literally.
Oh, so this appears to be like water, and it's very, I mean, it's blue. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a robin egg blue. And one of the things that I was hearing them say is if we can ride the waves and not try to control them, we'll get exactly where we need to go.
Beautiful message. I've said beautiful so much today on this interview, and you're invited back anytime. That was just awesome. I'm
Oh,
gonna put I'm gonna put Archangels, a photo. I'm sitting on a couch like this is like 2010, can't even say words right. 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. I'm in my first Austin home and I'm sitting inside. It's nighttime and I hear, go grab my camera. It's a Sure Shot camera. I've been taking photos of angels or light or whatever. And I can hand the camera to folks. They do it. But this is what I heard to go do, and I shot over the house. And this is all the archangels plus Metatron's the little guy in the back. Do you mind feeling it, hearing it, and what am I missing for a sense? All the senses, but get a lot of love. And the little guy in the back is Metatron, but
Mm.
Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, blah 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 are in there, and that's awesome. Someone picked up on the energy. What are you getting, feeling, and seeing? And I think there's a definite another new message coming in. What are you getting?
Oh, it is. It's a message for you, actually.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, they said that you're part of this collective too.
I love it. Um,
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I'm going to put up one more object thing step to take. I've got a stick. I don't know what it's called. An object of selenite. Okay, here.
There you go.
It's a
Selenite
shape, and
one.
there's a very
Yep.
good name for it, but I don't work with English right now. If you don't mind feeling the selenite, hearing the selenite, it will speak. High
Hmm.
vibration. What are you getting? I'll just turn this over to you. What are you getting?
Well, first thing I'm getting is I'm hearing like little tinkles, like little bells, sort of like wind chimes. Yeah,
A
yeah,
person the other day, I can't remember who, got the high pitched, and I feel like it was multiple people, but I can't remember. Oh, it was a private thing. Three of us, and
yeah,
one of them was getting the high pitch. That's right. Okay.
yeah. Lots
It,
of little tinkles.
and it will speak the selenite. If you don't mind getting what you just did before, boomerang. So you'll hear the selenite, and it'll be a message for all of us. What are you getting from the selenite?
It's kind of like remember me to be able to clear the fog away so that we can step into more of that clarity. That's beautiful.
I have to put it right here. That's what I need right now is a little more clarity. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I will put up an angel who's all about resilience, but she's also clarity, and her name is Claire. So let's have her come in
Mm.
and just get what you get from her. If you don't mind getting like two or three hugs up and down your back or up and down your Hindu chakra system. What are you hearing from Claire as a reminder for us all?
Mm. Mm. We're a lot stronger than we think we are. So much stronger.
What have you had to let go of in the last 5 years that is, you don't have to share the details, or you can
Mm.
just kind of encapsulate it briefly. But what then, as a result, how did it propel you forward?
What I have let go of was some of the attachments that I had to certain segments of my work. And by letting it go, it made room for new energy to come in and to kind of, just like they were talking with this water, kind of riding that wave to a totally different phase. And it was actually a higher phase of my work, but I had to trust in the universe. It was hard. You build something, it's like, you got to let it go. And it's like, no, I don't want to let it go. You got to let it go. No, I'm not letting it go. You're going to let it go. We'll do it the easy way, the hard way, but you're going to let it go. I'll take the easy way this time, and so by selecting that and choosing that, I made so much more space for new things to come in that has really been able to feed my soul as well as other people.
Okay. And I'm going to ask the question a little bit of a different way. Getting a timeout from the universe, it could be just a cold, it could be a hurt angle, it could be just the car didn't work, you couldn't make the appointment, you had to stay home that day. So little timeouts to big timeouts. But for an upgrade or whatever you want to call it, further expansion, you might not recognize what that is. You just hear from the crew, you got an expansion. Can you describe one of those? It doesn't have to be anything too detailed, but when was the last time you got a little bit of a timeout and then something happened?
I definitely had a timeout. I had organ failure.
Oh my goodness.
That's a
Okay.
pretty
Is this
big
years
timeout.
ago? Years ago.
This was like 5 or 6 years ago. But out of that, oh yeah, they were talking to me about having a liver transplant. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not having a liver transplant. My guys were like, no, 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 don't listen, don't listen. I didn't, and I was back to work in 3 months. They said my numbers were off the chart just out of nowhere. But they had been trying to move me in a direction, and I didn't listen. I really learned my lesson with that one. And they put me on the couch for whatever it was, 6 weeks actually. And I was, even on the couch, I was still doing my thing. And they're like, nope, you got to let these things go. You're going to have to do this. You've got to do that, etc., etc. And they really moved me. Some other smaller things are like car issues, computer issues, um, thinking things are going to go one way when they don't. And you're like, what? But those are the great times because then we have to drop into asking, because then we have to be receptive. We have to be open to receive what they are trying to tell us, not what we think we want to do.
Wow.
Those are toughies sometimes.
Lovely. I got a broken ankle in 2019 with a lot of mini miracles in it, and I got a pin out of it. But I
Yeah.
was running on a really complex trail for 3 miles, really complex. Like that's where you should have gotten injured and you have to be heloed out. Instead, it was the easiest part of the trail. Little rock, two dogs huddled on my head. I was white ashen, and an angel came in. I can't remember if it was Uriel or Raphael. The guy looked like Mr. Clean. Said he was we call it DPS for a state trooper in Texas. Said he was DPS. I've never seen him. I've been running on this trail for like, I'm going to say 5, 10 years. And I've never seen this guy before. And he looked like Mr. Clean. And he's a turned lobbyist, but still a state trooper. And he's like, by law, I can't leave you here. And he was destined to help out in that moment.
Yeah.
Got me up to the car, other miracles. And so that shifted everything real estate wise and much more big time out. But so flash
Hmm.
forward to the summer of 2025, I got RSV, which I'd barely even heard of before, and I'm like knocked out for 2 months. And I'm on a run just a few months ago as we're taping, and I'm talking to Joy, asking her, "Well, RSV, 2 months? I wasn't like pushing hard, questioning it, but it was over." And she's like, "Well, would you have rather had another broken ankle and another pin?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, no. RSV was great.
That's okay. I'll take the RSV. Yeah.
Take the RSV. Thank you." So while it's really complex with a lot of lingo and that there might be beings, there are beings that are interdimensional, they're in us and around us, they're just here to help, not interfere, blah, blah, blah. How is it also so simple that it's beyond thinking? Because the whole point of this is not to do more thinking, but less thinking to even occasionally be still here. Can you do the Sheila Seppi wisdom one more time for us?
Okay. And what's the question
Just
exactly?
how simple is it? It's so simple. It ain't about more
It
thinking.
is
It
so
ain't about
simple.
grasping it. It ain't about 2 years of this or the timeouts or anything else. It's just about breathing and being.
And that's all we have to do is take a deep breath and drop into that which we already are. Because we're there. They're here. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to do anything. We just have to just drop. I mean, I always tell people, roll your eyes up and drop back into you and allow yourself to catch you because that is where it all is. Everything is right there supporting you. And we are already those beings that we desire to become.
I'm going to do two more photos for you. And then one last interactive exercise, we'll call it. Just light and love energy flowing between us. But an angel named Isabel who's inner calm. And she's a little bit like a solar flare. If anybody can remember those cassette tapes that they made in the 70s and 80s, I think it was Maxell is what one of the brands was called. And there were great posters in colleges everywhere. A poster in particular was a guy sitting in a leather chair sideways with like maybe shades on, getting blown so heavily. Giant speakers were blasting in this poster. And you could see like the sound, you couldn't see the sound waves, but you could see him sunk in the chair getting hit by the sound. Well, that's her. A lot of love. You should feel this. But I'm using a 1950s Italian actress photo. And so a historical photo, static, shouldn't be able to move. But for you, she'll start to smile more, sparkle more. You're also going to feel her like a solar flare of love. This is Isabel, who's intercom.
Hmm.
And if you can let us know when you see the photo just smile more or sparkle more.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could get a private message for you and a hug and let us know that you're really feeling a lot of extra. And then what's the message she's got for all of us? Just you're getting this, Sheila, you're feeling her, right?
Yeah, but I'm just really dropped into her eyes because I see the triangle that was appearing earlier. And she's talking about the, love, light, and joy, how we can stand in the middle of that. And that is who we truly are, is the love, light, and joy. That's
Brilliant.
beautiful.
Okay, I have one more. You're going to know who this is, and we might have done this last time. But Audrey Hepburn, she's an angel
Yeah.
and she's awesome. And you can catch a perfume that's uninvented and amazing from Paris, but if you prefer Milan, fantastic. Here she is, and she can move, wink, smile, eyebrow goes up, shoulder waggle, hands move, anything. Let us know when the photo moved for you. And catch something in the air that's just gorgeous, graceful. She's half grace, half sparkle in the moment. There's already an angel named Grace, so that slot's taken. She's part of that group, though. Did you have a movement in the photo? And here's something beautiful from her. And then for all of us, public consumption, what are you hearing from Audrey to us?
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of raised her finger just a little bit and just like, hey, just remember, just remember, just remember. That's all she was saying was just remember,
Ah, I like that.
just remember.
Okay, I'm going to do some whooshing to you just once, twice, or three times. No two whooshes are the same. It's just 11 above. We're going to blame angels, not Canada here. But here comes the first whoosh. The microphone's down below. I'm going to blow a little too. If you don't mind catching Hawaii, if you like Hawaii,
Okay.
light energy sparkles. It could feel like fairy dust. You might even get little flecks of light around you. Who knows? No limits is no limits. So make it fun. Okay, here comes the first whoosh. And did you get something?
I did. I got dolphins playing in the water, and they're kind of reminding us to be playful and not to take everything so serious.
And I have to do it because you said it. I'm so close to oh, here we go. So, dolphin consciousness. We're going to bring
Ah.
dolphin consciousness in for 2 seconds. And
Mm-mm.
even though you're not landlocked in Virginia, but you're kind of landlocked, have dolphins come in right now. Feel bubbles, feel vortices, hear laughter, hear squeaking. And one more message from dolphin consciousness for all of us. Sheila Seppi, you're now a wildlife explorer and more. And they've been around forever and they're super patient with us and very loving. What do you get from dolphin consciousness?
Well, there again, like, don't take anything too serious, just play. You know, life's all about playing and having fun. And he was showing kind of like running into the kelp. And it was like, I could say, oh my gosh, look at this kelp, or I could dance around it and have fun.
Mm.
So just very joyful little beings.
Ah, nice. Okay, one or two more wishes. Here comes the next one. Okay, here we go. What'd you get there?
For me, it was like I was smelling pineapples.
Oh my God, that's
I don't know
awesome.
what
Okay,
that's about.
could be Hawaii. I mean, that could be Hawaii
Maybe
plantation.
because I was thinking, yeah, the
Okay,
tropics.
and then if you don't mind allowing like Lemurian
Mm.
influence and Arcturian, Pleiadian, Syrian, Andromedan, Orionian, we'll make it up, and lots of other fun, so that it's a smorgasbord of mini fireworks. But I don't know how that's going to work. Nothing's going to get set on fire. Little explosions of light and cosmic consciousness. Yeah. Okay, here comes the next. Okay, and how
Hmm.
about them apples?
You know, they were all kind of reminding us that we're really lucky to be here on Earth at this time because they're like, you know what? This is the greatest show in the galaxy right now. Everybody wants to be here.
Eating popcorn.
That's
Yep.
right. Or pineapple,
Or
whichever, you
pineapple.
know.
It's healthier, probably. Okay. So, can you spontaneously, not pulling on a mantra that you've already said in the last like year or two, not one of your favorites, but a creative new one where like the Lemurians are like, Psst, use this one, or whoever, or your elder with the Andromedan background, I can't pronounce names very well. Can you repeat a mantra three times for us so people can pick up on your energy? They can put their hands up and feel you like a fireplace, not that they're getting heat, but and only love and above with angels and light beings shepherding this for decades to come, only high vibes. But can you share something with us that you repeat three times like a mantra that people can pick up on your vibe now?
Mm. You know, I don't know if I have said this, I believe this, but it's just like we are love. I am 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 love. That's one of the things that I'm hearing. I've never used that as a mantra, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that do, but I've never used that. I understand it, but maybe I'll start using that as a mantra. I am love.
I like it. I'll do one last act and we're going to have you close this out and we're going to absolutely have you back anytime. And I'm inviting you publicly for a mind, body, spirit panel. It'll probably be a month after this comes out or so. I don't know, spring of 2026. We'll see. But I'm going to do this first. Name any color you see in the flame or below the flame, any color.
Okay, purple.
Okay. And then I'm going to treat my finger like a Bic lighter and just allow, no triota. I don't have to do the voice again. I'm going to hold my finger up. What light are you getting off the tip of my finger?
Kind of a white light.
Okay, awesome. And I'm going to spin it a little. Are you getting more or is it doing more? My finger's getting hotter.
Yeah, I'm getting more of a blue right now.
Okay. I don't know. I just heard do that, so I do it. I'm just the show host. Okay, Sheila, we got to make it sound serious. So when we
Oh,
close out, we got to make it formal. So I'm going to read a couple of quotes for you from angels, I believe, or dull knife in this case. I lied. Native American chief, passed over, unconditional of spirit, wisdom. You might actually get one of those 60 sacred scents: tobacco, sucrase, juniper, sage, desert pineal, pine, cedar. Allow for dull knife. I'll show his photo. Super sweet. Dull knife, actual name Morningstar was his original name, Cheyenne. And he'll make something in the air for you. We don't have to light anything. Just let us know when you catch something. But here are a couple of quotes. The work along the path leads to compassion and joy. He said that. Compassion brings success. Someone else said that. And learn to take life really one moment at a time. You basically said that during the show. And I'm going to do a NASA astronaut final quote to inspire you. And let us know when you do get one of those scents in the air.
I got
Sto-
the sweet grass.
awesome. See, I
Yeah.
love you. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Story Musgrave, NASA astronaut, privately sent a note like 10 years ago that was super encouraging. He's like, I talked to my angels, but we haven't had him on the show and it probably isn't going to happen. Here's what he said, and it's one of the most beautiful quotes of all time. I've said it like 60 times in 400 tapings. Getting out of the comfortable path, that's what exploration is all about. I've given you all the fodder I can, the material. Where are you taking us to close this out?
Okay. Oh, you you
Yeah.
said I'm
See, you
giving
were
you all the
listening.
fodder, and I'm like, you like want me to make rope out of it?
Nope.
What do
You're
you?
taking this and making it into a
Um,
geometric, like light pattern for
okay.
us.
All right. Well, my light pattern is the heart right now, you know, and one of the things that I'm seeing with this heart is that each and every one of us, not our physical heart, but we have that spiritual heart, and each one of us have had traumas, we've had hurts, we've had excitement, we've had love, we've had joy, and if we can remember that all of these things are a gift and that heart is something that we can give away to each and every person along the way, that love will come back to us tenfold.
Brilliant. A new word reaction from me. Brilliant. And I think that absolutely describes you, your work, and how you love helping others into their heart space to connect the all there is within us at the galactic level and more. So, Sheila Seppi, great to see you again. Thank you for coming
You
on.
too. Thanks. It's been fun.